Please join me in singing our opening hymn this morning, number 1031, May I Be Filled with Loving Kindness. Welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill Unitarian Universalist virtual Sunday service. I am Susan McDaniel, a member of the Worship Associates ministry here at the church. I want to welcome each of you to our online Sunday service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to worship with us today, you are welcome here. Today's call to worship, and so we come again to this time of worshiping, to this time made holy by our attention and intention. We come bringing with us the fullness of our lives, our joys and sorrows, our vulnerabilities and fears, our dreams and longings. We come to worship because to do so is human. We come to worship because we need not be alone. Even though we are distanced, connected by screens and Wi-Fi, we are still together, sharing these moments in this time together. Let us make of this time a vigil. Be attentive, awakening, practicing watchfulness over our own heart, practicing watchfulness over all we hold dear. Come into this time. Come. Let us worship together.
My name is Ruby, and I am voting for the first time in this election. I'm lighting our chalice this morning in honor of the tiny spark that each of us creates when we cast our votes and add our voices to the larger light of liberty. I light this chalice in honor of first-time voters like myself, all of us who are just now old enough to vote, all those who have just become citizens, and those who've never voted before but have decided for the first time to participate. I light this chalice in honor of all who have fought for the right to vote, our ancestors and elders who refused to be overlooked and demanded representation. I light this chalice for those who have faithfully voted in many elections, each time imagining the world as it might become. And I light this chalice for those who are not able to vote, that we may remember them when we make the choices that will impact us all. May our democracy be strengthened and our choices light the way to a more beloved world.
When you weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on the way. See how they shine. If you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind.
Before we begin joys and sorrows this morning, I want to invite you, as we await this coming week, I want to invite you to join me on Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning. On Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning this week, I'll be broadcasting live from the sanctuary over Zoom and holding a space where we can come to share prayers, moments of silence, and to be community. I'll be here on Tuesday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and from 10:30 p.m. to midnight. On Wednesday, I'll be here Wednesday morning from 10 a.m. until 11:30. Each week we hold a time in our service for the sharing of joys and sorrows. This past week, several members of the church reached out asking me to place stones for their joys and their sorrows. First stone is placed for Amy Maddox. Amy writes, "I share a concern that my husband, Paul, suffered a fractured jaw while healing from a wisdom tooth extraction. He's in a lot of pain, so prayers and healing thoughts for peace and comfort are appreciated." Chris Immershine asked me to place 2 stones. The first stone is in memory of Rick Schiff, the brother of Chris's stepfather, Henry, who passed away last week at the age of 92, and for Henry and Chris's mom as they travel to upstate New York for the funeral. Second stone Chris asked me to place is a joy that his grampy, Fred Beck, celebrated his 90th birthday on Thursday in Connecticut. Joy Blevins asked me to place a stone in memory of Manly Macaulay, the 18-year-old black man who 122 years ago was lynched outside of Chapel Hill on October 30th, 1898. Joy calls our attention to the Orange County Community Remembrance Coalition, formed in 2018, that has launched a multi-year project to recognize Manly Macaulay, as well as other documented and undocumented victims of lynching in Orange County. She invites us to learn more by going to the website of the Orange County Community Remembrance Coalition. Place a stone of solidarity with our neighbors in faith, Binkley Baptist Church. It is a stone of appreciation for the ministers of that church, the pastors who have been working with me to create a public memorial service for Connie Gates. And the stone is also for the ministers of that church and all of the members of that church community. Just a day or two ago, someone attempted to set fire to their Black Lives Matter banners. And so we hold them in our hearts, and we are in solidarity with them. A final stone is placed for all those joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts, which are not spoken. My prayer this morning is adapted from Unitarian Universalist minister David Miller. Reverend Miller serves one of our UU congregations right outside of Washington, D.C. Let us pray. Today, as we come together to lift up things of worth, to pray with conviction, not sure if our prayers are heard, we reflect on our own certainty. We yearn for a turn, a recognition, a movement of the collective spirit. Today, knowing the possibility of disorder that continues to flow through this season, our hearts collectively gather in the promise of this faith to respect, to witness, and to never stop working for the elusive but so badly needed vision of a community of beloveds. We know We know that one election will not cure what ails, and we know that a political shift will not completely bind all wounds. But so let us continue to believe that change is possible, that faith does occasionally get rewarded, and that we continue to be called to be benders of that arc. Whatever happens, the seasons will continue to turn. We will continue to gather. Suffering and love will continue to exist. And there will continue to be work for us to do. We may come feeling broken or bruised or battered, but we are not defeated as long as the miracle of life flows through us, lives between us, and stretches out beyond us. May that be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in,
Today's reading is a poem by Langston Hughes, Democracy. Democracy will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my 2 feet and own the land. I tire so of hearing people say, let things take their course. Tomorrow is another day. I do not need my freedom when I am dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed planted in a great need. I live here too. I want freedom, just as you.
Keeping Vigil, a time of reflection and practice for Sunday, November 1st, 2020. Come and sit with me for a time this morning. Be here. Yes, be here with worry and anxiety and fear. There is truth to our feelings, and the truth of our feelings need to be honored and acknowledged. But also be here with your hopes, your longings, and your dreams. There is truth and beauty and goodness in these. When I thought about what I wanted to say this Sunday, I realized I didn't want to delve into the depths of theology like I tried to do 2 weeks ago. And when I thought about what I wanted to say this Sunday, I realized I didn't want to offer hot takes about political analysis. I did that last week. And besides, you've probably got more than enough of that recently. No, when I thought about what I wanted to say this Sunday, I realized I didn't want to say all that much. I wanted simply to be here with you. And what I wanted to do was to create a space for some silence, for some meditation, for honoring and acknowledging all we bring with us into this time. And I also wanted to share a few readings written by my Unitarian Universalist colleagues, readings that I have found ministered to me recently. So come, let us hold this time together. First reading that I want to share is entitled Prayer Ballad. Prayer Ballad by Unitarian Universalist minister Luke Stevens Royer. I walk in as on pilgrimage. The altar cloths are red, white, and blue. The ushers are the women who have been running these things, who have been running everything since before I was born. I'm handed the ballot like a scroll because the questions seem that important, ancient and modern, of what my God and country ask of me. Who? Who for commissioner? Mayor, president, who for District 8, Ward 7, school board? Who will do justice, love mercy, walk humbly? I make my mark with at least a shred of hope that something good will come from this. And regardless, I remember the world won't be destroyed entirely by this, and the world won't be saved entirely by this. Marking my vote is like kneeling in prayer, because neither will accomplish anything right away, but the purpose of both is to remind me of my deepest hope for the world I'm trying to help create. So I rise from prayer and turn in my ballot and remember the who is me and us and we the people. And again, I set to the task that is mine: justice, mercy, humble service in my small corner of the world. Prayer Ballad by Reverend Luke Stevens Royer. Sit with me. I invite you into the spirit of vigil keeping. A vigil is an act of staying awake, maintaining focus, being intentional in our awareness. It is watchfulness. Vigils are kept for many reasons. Vigils are kept for protection from forces that wish us harm. Vigils are kept by bedsides, a way of saying, I will be with you. I will watch over you. You are not alone. Vigils are kept in churches, listening for that holy word, that good news, awaiting the inbreaking of spirit. And vigils are kept when some event has happened of magnitude that demands we take notice, that demands we pause, pay attention, notice, and pledge ourselves to more faithful living. The poet William Stafford says, "For it is important that awake people be awake." And the poet David White says, "It is the opening of eyes long closed. It is the vision of far-off things seen, for the silence they hold." I invite you to pause for a moment of watching, a moment of waiting, a moment of intentional awareness. Let us take time to notice. The second reading I want to share with you comes from Unitarian Universalist minister Reverend Mark Belote. He wrote this meditation the meditation was published in the spring of 2008 in his meditation book, Sonata for Voice and Silence. And this meditation is Election Promises. Election Promises by Mark Belote from 2008. I hear the polls are going to be open on Tuesday, all day. Good. I certainly intend to go to them. And I certainly invite you to go to them and vote, too. But today I say the polls are not just open on Tuesday. I say they are open every day, every hour, even here, even now. I'm going to vote right now for the right to dream of a world where the word politics doesn't stop me in my tracks, and where the word honor still has a few good meanings left. I'm going to vote right now for the power of free people to actually be free, no matter who they are, no matter who has abandoned them, no matter who hates them. I actually am going to vote for love. I'm going to vote for truthfulness as the norm, not the exception. I'm going to vote for a world that doesn't vote for killing, control, swagger. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for me. Right now, right here. Silently, but for real. Election Promises by Mark Bellatini. I invite you to sit with me once more. In this moment of vigil, I invite you to notice the beating of your own heart, to notice the air in your breath, those breaths hoping to breathe in peace and breathe out love. I invite you to notice all that flows inside of you. Even that feeling in the gut, feeling in the feet and the hands. To notice. I invite you to notice this community, this world of which we are a part. To notice those at the margins, those at risk, those in fear, in desperation. Won't you notice? Notice this earth, this world in which we dwell. Won't you notice? Notice those you love with all your heart. Won't you notice? And in the midst of this noticing, in the midst of the silence we now hold, I invite you to speak into that silence, to name what you notice, and to name who is in your heart this morning. Let us hold a time of silence once more. Our closing reading this morning was written by the UU minister, Reverend Gretchen Haley. It's entitled, "And Yet We Persist." Though we've been warned and given plenty of explanations, reasons to do otherwise, we have persisted to claim a life of joy and justice, to carve out this time, this space for the renewal of our own heart. Despite all the reasons, the resistance, fighting for your attention, luring you towards fear, we persist. We persist to practice gratitude for this day and this life that has been given, this chance to begin again. So let us venture forth, that we might offer one another courage, strength, healing, hope, and this promise to persist in kindness, to persevere in compassion, and to prevail in a life that is for more than ourselves. Come, let us make it so. Thank you for joining this time of reflection, silence, meditation, awareness, and noticing. Amen. Blessed be. Please join with me in the words by which we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now please join in singing Shalom.